Who Cares? Written and illustrated by Barbara Steinitz. Walking around the streets and parks of most towns, you might notice that many dogs look a lot like their owners. Or perhaps it's the other way around. Do the owners all look like their dogs? Anton is cheeky and cheerful, and so is his dachshund. Some ladies have the same long faces as their Pekingese. Aurelia's poodle strides smoothly through the world, just like she does. Oscar is as fast and skinny as his greyhound. The mysterious guy next door has the same hairdo as his Poolie. People might think otherwise, but the neighbor's bull terrier is as mild-mannered as Mr. Luzzy, who trained his dog really well. But Leonora's dog didn't look anything like her, not one eensy-weensy bit. Leonora named her dog after her favorite opera, Fidelio. When she played the opera on her gramophone, Fidelio sang along and Leonora danced. The neighbors angrily banged broomsticks against the ceiling and shouted, "Make that dog stop howling!" But what do neighbors know about good music? Although it has to be said, sometimes Fidelio also sang when the moon was out, or the sun was shining, or when it rained, or when he was happy. And when he was with Leonora, Fidelio was pretty much happy all the time. But when Leonora took Fidelio for a walk, people would start to gossip. "Just look at that dog," they'd whisper. "He doesn't look anything like his own. Incredible." They'd laugh at them. But Leonora didn't mind. Well, she did mind a little bit. 2 streets down lived Carmelo, and his dog didn't look anything like him. Not one eensy-weensy bit. Carmelo loved making chocolate bonbons. He often spent days coming up with original recipes like marzipan, fairy wings, violet truffles, pistachio pebbles, pixie kisses with elderberry syrup, crunchy kitty claws, nugget noodles. Carmelo's dog was called Pistachio because pistachio pebbles were her favorite, but really, she liked all of his chocolate treats. After making bonbons, Carmelo wasn't always in the mood for chocolate, so Pistachio got lots and lots of bonbons. When Pistachio didn't like a bonbon all that much, she'd growl softly. And when she really liked one, she'd wag her entire backside and roll around in a circle. They were very happy together. But when Carmelo walked Pistachio, the gossipy whispers began. "Just look at that man. He doesn't look anything like his dog. Unbelievable." They'd turn up their noses and double over with laughter, but Carmelo didn't mind. Well, he did mind a little bit. And then one day it happened. Leonora's gramophone needle broke while she was playing her favorite record. She decided to take Fidelio earlier than usual and buy a needle along the way. So she left the house at 8 o'clock, not at 10 like she normally did. If Leonora's gramophone needle hadn't broken, they might never have met. Leonora and Fidelio and Carmelo and Pistachio. Leonora looked at Pistachio. Carmelo looked at Fidelio. There was nothing to say. It was crystal clear. They exchanged leashes and went home. Leonora with Pistachio and Carmelo with Fidelio. After that, nobody gossiped anymore. Leonora and Carmelo could finally walk their dogs in peace. But something wasn't right. Everything was the way it was supposed to be, and yet Leonora felt a peculiar sadness that she couldn't explain. Pistachio wasn't happy either. It's not that she didn't like opera, and Leonora always had chocolate bonbons at home. Although they were store-bought, they were quite delicious. Pistachio didn't eat them, though, and she didn't roll around in circles anymore either. Carmelo and Fidelio also fell out of sorts. It's not that Fidelio didn't like chocolate bonbons. All dogs like bonbons. And Carmelo even had a little radio. Of course, it didn't play Fidelio's favorite opera, but some other beautiful music. Fidelio didn't want to hear anything else, and he stopped singing. So they got sadder and sadder. Leonora and Pistachio, Carmelo and Fidelio, and they couldn't figure out why. After all, everything was perfect now. One day, Carmelo was listlessly working on a new bonbon creation when he accidentally burned the chocolate for the first time in his life. He had to scrub the burned pot for such a long time that he didn't walk Fidelio at 8 o'clock as he normally did, but at 10. If Carmelo hadn't burned the chocolate, they might never have met a second time. Leonora and Pistachia, and Carmelo and Fidelio. Leonora looked at Carmelo. Pistachio looked at Fidelio, and Carmelo looked at Leonora, and Fidelio looked at Pistachia. Suddenly, the strange, sad feeling was swept away. There was nothing to say. It was crystal clear. And so off they went, Leonora and Carmelo, Fidelio and Leonora, Carmelo and Fidelio, Carmelo and Pistachia, Pistachia and Fidelio, Leonora and Pistachia. Now they do everything together. They listen to opera and sing and dance. They make chocolate bonbons and eat them all. They even roll around in happy circles. People are very confused and say, those dogs aren't a good match, and the owners even less so. Altogether, they look completely ridiculous. But the four of them don't mind, not even a little bit. They simply think, who cares?